If you were traveling at the speed of light, this would happen. As you reach the speed of light, time would actually stop for you. You would be unable to slow down because you need an infinite amount of energy. I'm pretty sure we've all heard of this equation, right? This means that as an object approaches the speed of light, its mass and energy would become infinite. If you were traveling at 99.9% the speed of light for 1 year and go back to Earth, 10 years would have passed. You would now be able to see objects that were invisible to you before because of the relativistic Doppler effect. You would see visual distortions, but now be able to see the heat of objects. Let me know what to do next.
How to befriend a crow in 4 steps. First, you need to find a food the crow likes and then stock up so you have plenty. I suggest unsalted peanuts, but eggs, cat food, dog food, that works too. Try to keep it healthy because they like sweets, but it's not good for them and we shouldn't be giving them to them. Step 2. Crows are creatures of habit. They often visit the same places at the same time. Find one of those places and sit and observe them for a while. See if you can find one that looks a little bit more curious than you. Kind of like what our ancestors did with wolves. Next, offer the food. Kind of toss it out, scatter around, and then sit back and just watch. They may not be too trusting at first, so it may take a while. The 4th and most important step is to repeat. Build up that trust. Remember, crows are extremely intelligent and have their own personalities, so you never know what you'll get.
If we lived on a one-dimensional world, we would only be able to move left and right along a singular line. If we lived in a two-dimensional world, we would only be able to move left, right, up, and down along a singular plane. But we live in the 3rd dimension, which means we can move left, right, up, down, forward, and backwards in 3D space, made up of infinite two-dimensional worlds. And because of that, we actually view things in 2D. Think about it. If you're looking at a ball, you view it as a circle. The only reason you know it's getting closer to you is because the lighting and because the circle is getting bigger. It's impossible to see all angles of the ball at the same time because we see two-dimensionally. But in the 4th dimension, they can see things in 3D. They're not living on a line or a plane or a shape. They're living on a tesseract. And if they looked at this ball, they would be able to see all angles at once as well as inside of it and through it. Now,
first things first, I'ma say all the words inside my head. I'm fired up and tired of the way that things have been. The way that things have been. Second thing, second, don't you tell me what you think that I can be. I'm the one at the same, I'm the master of my sea. The master of my sea. I was broken from a young age, taking my soul into the message, writing my poems for the few that looked at me, took to me, shook to me, feeling me, singing my heartache. From the pain, taking my message, from the veins, speaking my lesson, from the brain, seeing the beauty through the.
This is a cut of Japanese Wagyu A5, widely considered to be the best beef in the world. It's already pretty well trimmed, but I'm going to take off a little bit of the fat cap to help season the pan. A steak like this really just needs salt, nothing else. The trimmings will give me all the oil that I need when it's smoking hot in the pan. You've never seen anything cook like this before. If this was a ribeye, I would cook it medium rare. But for this, it just needs to be seared. You want to let Wagyu beef rest for the same amount of time that you cooked it. Finally, just a touch of finishing salt to round it out. Before you ask, yeah, this is finger food.
Screw this animal.
Oh, okay, I see you think this has nothing to do with you. But what you don't realize is that's not a rock crab, it's not a king crab, it's not a blue crab, it's not a xanthidae crab. It's actually a horseshoe crab. You're also blithely unaware of the fact that in the 1970s, scientists started using horseshoe crabs to make vaccines. And then I think it was one of the first flu vaccines, and it quickly started showing up in so many different types of medicines and vaccinations. Then it quickly filtered down to almost every single medical test, vaccination, trial, and everything else that you've probably actually benefited off of. However, that animal actually represents billions of dollars and countless lives saved. It's almost comical that you think you are exempt from this animal that actually is probably doing more for the planet than you ever will.
I will say, the next thing I say may be mind-blowing to you.
Okay.
Okay? The tide doesn't actually come in and out. What? What happens is, there is a bulge of water, two of them on opposite sides of the Earth, caused by the sun and the moon, and Earth turns inside that bulge. So when we say the water rises and falls tidally, what's happening is we are rotating into the bulge and then out of the bulge.
So the bulge is already there.
It's already there.
And all we kind of do is pass through the
Pass
bulge.
through, and the water gets high and it gets low. So we're stuck.
I'm Peppa Pig. This is my little brother George. This is
electricity! Bully the shit out of an electron till it's scared and shaken. Now you got life. Next lesson. 4 elements are as follows: fire, water, earth, and alimony. Next lesson. Volcano. When a volcano explodes, it makes land. When I explode, I gotta pay someone $600.
Alright, 3 of you asked for it. Here are some more crazy mouth facts you probably didn't even know. Let's go. In 2004, a study by Yale University showed that only 1 in 80,000 people can touch their chin with their tongue. Are you lucky?